in the new Substack live stream thing, because now when I go to get to my scheduled live streams, I have to click through their other menu. It's like, all right, we should be live.
Awesome.
I think I did it.
Good morning, world.
We're ranting. We made it.
It's another week.
Another Friday. Another day in the fascist
crazy stuff
of
in
America.
the world.
I got my FDT beanie on, guys.
There you go.
The little orange finger in there.
Nice.
Right?
Love it.
Yes.
I came up this week. I keep coming up with names to call him, and other people probably said it, but I put like the orange post turtle, like a turtle on a post. And somebody did this just great drawing of it. They're just like, that's because he didn't get there by himself. And we just that's a good way. He doesn't like being called a puppet. That's one of those words that does kind of awaken your radical right-wing people in your thing, if you still have it in your life.
You're so right, dude. He's the biggest fucking puppet out there. I mean, like, he has done none of this himself. Nothing. Yeah. Zero. Nada.
Yeah, I seen some of the stuff you wrote, Shane, about Jared Kushner being like the fixer, and that's what he was in the first administration. He's just not as front and center. He's a little bit more background this time around. But he's definitely still involved in everything.
Dude, everything. The more Trump's brain rots, the more Kushner and Witkoff and all these people appear to me to be dictating.
Oh, the AI just got you. The fucking it's Skynet, man. Skynet's on you.
The damn camera dictating the policy.
I don't like that camera. That freaks me out.
You're a little weird.
You gotta.
It freaks me out sometimes because I was talking with my hands, so I'll emphasize, and it'll be like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Sorry, man."
Yeah. Get a dumb. Yeah, there it goes again. Get a dumb camera.
I was doing that. I can do it, so I can do things with my hands, and it'll go. But then I'm emphasizing. But to your point, Arturo, I think like they just get more and more powerful. The dumber he gets, the less his brain is there, and the more they have to do like heavy lifting. Like, because they can't put him on a phone with anyone now and expect any form of diplomacy to occur.
Right.
Like, they can't be like, hey, they're literally bombing the shit out of each other in Cambodia and Thailand, Don. We need you to call over there. Tell them to make peace. All right, I'm going to do it. Hey, you guys, they're killing, you're dying. It's worthless. We need your minerals. We need your things. Stop it. I'm going to put tariffs on you. Wait,
it's a good one.
You don't care? Okay, never mind. Like, what the fuck is he going to,
Do you think he even makes those calls, though? I mean, he just sits around, supersizing his, Big Mac meal. That's the only thing. That's the only order he knows how to give.
Yeah,
other than that, he does nothing.
I think most of the calls are Deputy Secretary of State. What's his name, Landau? Because I get all the emails. They give you the readouts of these phone calls, and it's only like a paragraph, but he's usually the one on all those calls. Is Landau? So yeah, I don't think Trump makes any of those calls.
Somebody's calling your name in the comments there, Arturo. So he was.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Morning, Kay.
We acknowledge you. We acknowledge you. Yeah.
I had to throw a good morning in there. I'm like, hey, it's okay.
Good morning. All you're about to hear is satire. That's just my legal disclaimer. I always talk in terms of how it'll read in the court transcript. That's an important thing to keep in mind. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, I'm ready for did you say this on social media? Yes, I did. And you know what I mean? I'm waiting for that. So yeah.
Those words sound like something I would say, but I do not recall saying them.
Yeah.
I do not recall. That's a completely accurate answer. Always. I don't remember.
You just gotta go, well, these are the facts, and lie to them instead. And that'll be fine. Just these are the facts. We never went to the moon. Crypto is the dollar, and Congress is dissolved. These are the facts. That's it.
Dissolved.
Done. Simple. And my ballroom I'm
Christmas is
building it for
canceled.
Jeffrey. I love him.
Oh, God.
His name was
God.
Bubba. He was Bubba. He's my Bubba, and I miss him every
Starting to
day.
creep me out
Oh,
now.
God, how did we get here? How did we get here?
I don't know.
I
don't fucking know.
Arturo, I was going to ask you, like, okay, the question I have is, am I in any legal problem if I'm just like, I personally believe, once I start a sentence like that, I'm like, I'm not saying it's a fact. If I say, I personally believe that guy raped kids, you know,
I mean,
at what point do I get in trouble?
That's an opinion, you know, so you're entitled to your opinions, and, you know, they can't judge you based on your moral or religious beliefs. So if that's your moral belief and that's your opinion, then you're entitled to that, right?
Safe. I thought it was safe. I've been planning out an article because it's just like, I just want to have these conversations with people. Like, I believe that guy raped kids. That's what I believe. He looks like a guy, you know, in the experience, you know, like the most awful experiences of my life. It makes me think that this is a guy that would do that to somebody.
Right.
And it's just sort of like, do you seriously not think that's something he would do based on the fact that he's openly bragged about, you know, raping people?
Yeah, I mean, you know, all these people's names keep getting brought up, you know, in all these different situations. So it's kind of hard to not have that opinion. You know, you have to be pretty tone deaf, willfully ignorant, you know, about what you're seeing and hearing. Like, it's just astounding to me, because, like, it's the same thing with the drug boats, right? Like, nobody in MAGA knows for sure that those are drug boats, just like no one else in the world does. And there's no evidence to prove it, but they're going to sit there and just repeat what the government says because their guy's in there. And
These are the facts. That shit's crazy. It makes me so mad, dude. Right. They sit there. These are the facts. We got to stick to the facts. Dude, like, just replace facts with bullshit, and that's literally where we're at.
You gotta stick to the bullshit. Yeah,
this is the bullshit. Sad. This is where I'm gonna give you. I'm killing them extrajudicially.
Yeah,
but like, I'm not like. I just like, dude. It's crazy.
Well, now that you say that, though, it just occurred to me that we haven't seen much of little, you know, three-eyed raven Mike Johnson anywhere lately. I call it that because that's where he gets his pieces of silver from, the little raven that flies his house. But it's like, is he on his way out? I mean, because it used to be, because he would come on and just be like, well, that's something I haven't heard about. It's like, for the love of God, it's like, you don't know nothing. You know, we try to ask him question after question. Well, I personally haven't heard about that. I just sit in my room monitoring my child's masturbatory habits. I mean, I don't really do anything when it comes to running the government. And he keeps getting away with denying everything.
Yeah, the fact that dude lives in a mansion with a whole bunch of other dudes in DC
that's so weird.
Is really weird.
Oh, my camera's glitching. Whoa. Like, I might go away.
Peter found you, dude. Peter
found you. It's the
Agent Smith in the corner behind him. He's like, oh, fuck, dude. He took the red pill. He's red pilled.
Remember when Mike Johnson tried to suggest that
eat the steak.
Remember when Mike Johnson tried to suggest that Trump was an informant for the FBI around Epstein? Like, he totally pulled that out of his ass at a presser in Congress, and like nothing to back it up. And like, they just invent things. And you know, I guess they're on the Goebbels thing. You repeat it in a lie enough times, it becomes true.
Oh man, yeah,
it's still a lie. I mean,
well, that's that rote memory thing, like the way they constantly just push their messages. Yeah, it's scary what's going on. Yeah, sorry about the glitch, everybody.
Dude, I'm over here like,
that's awesome though. It's kind of
like awesome. Scooby-Doo cyberspace. I like watched that recently, you know, like just
like Max. I feel like Max Headroom. Max.
Oh yeah,
nobody else knows what that is. I'm 2,000 years old. Have you ever heard of Max Headroom, Shane?
What is it?
Yeah, see, Max Headroom. Go look up Max Headroom when this is done on YouTube.
Max Underwood.
No,
Max
Headroom.
Headroom. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's funny.
Dude, he pirated he pirated a TV signal. Doing some weird glitchy.
He was an MTV character.
Yeah, and then he became MTV.
Max Headroom.
It was crazy. Anyway,
they wrote him in the comments. So I'm glad he's back. Let's bring him back. He should be the goddamn president.
Can we just hack the White House website and just like have it play, like, you know, because like, look, when I was in high school, I took a computer modeling course or whatever, like computer 3D animation course. It was like a great class, not because we did any computer animation, but They had the best computers in the school, and we all had thumb drives with, video games on them. So, we would go in there and play our games or whatever. But the teacher had his big server on there. And so somebody went on there and they just, I don't know, uploaded a terabyte of horse porn. So why doesn't someone just do some shit like that to the White House website? Because it's the same quality of stuff, like where the hackers at, like you think if they're forcing everybody, okay, to go, like I reported on this week, how like the IRS is just deceased. Like it's just gone. Like prosecutions of white collar tax evasion is down like 27%. They got rid of sometime in October, they got rid of an office that's been in place since 1930. Like you think their cyber division is working really hard? You think all these updates, like, come on, hackers, like roast them, like do some shit, hack the White House website, like, where's our creativity? Where's the creativity? We need some Macs, we need some Macs, get some Macs on the White House website. Like it can be done. I wish I was a hacker. I'm a social hacker. I'm trying to hack your brain.
That's how you bring Max Headroom back. That's how you bring Max Headroom back. Hack the White House website.
Well, they just signed that dumb executive order where states are not allowed to regulate AI. It's like,
did they sign that shit?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell what the hell's going on, but just the fact that they're talking about it, it's like maybe if you made some AI generated, graphic images of the president doing nasty things and started putting those, maybe then they'd start thinking perhaps it'd be a good idea to regulate AI, some in one way or another.
Sora can do that now.
Rights
I'm
argument?
sure.
I mean, states' rights is their argument every time they sign an AI thing saying the states can't do this. Fuck,
Yeah, like, the laws that are regulating are like, don't make actual, like, deep fake porn of real people using AI. Like,
they're against
those laws.
That. The Republicans are against that.
I can't make my dirty Donald porn without these stupid state laws. Like, or data privacy. My guess is probably actually more than anything, it's data privacy. I think they want open season on everyone's data and shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like, just if they don't have to do that, and I don't know, like, Google got integrated into the Pentagon.
Melissa just came in. Whoa, I disappeared. It's
Melissa.
Melissa, you're doing great work. Holy shit.
Yeah,
saving America Melissa, all by yourself.
I talked to Melissa for like 2 hours last night. We were just, like the shit's just like fucked up. Like I felt like our rant yesterday was like I'm mad, but I'm subdued in my anger because I'm so mad about so many things. So I'm just going to use my normal voice as I go off about these things,
I finally broke down into tears on Tuesday, and it was just like, that's just because, like, that's just the other side of the rage. It's the same place, that same just frustration and just the atrocities being committed against totally innocent people. And it's bad for all people, but the atrocities against kids, that just fucking gets to me. And it makes me so angry. And it's just like, you couldn't mistake it too, though. I mean, it's like, I'll cry about it. I'll cry when I hear stories of little kids getting just horribly abused. It makes me cry, but don't mistake that for, because it turns into rage pretty goddamn quick when I see threats against my kids. And it's just sort of like, got to moderate those emotions. You got to lean into them too. We need that power.
Oh yeah.
Especially now.
I mean, I'm screaming when every time I update myself on fucking Gaza and the left bank and I fucking pay attention. Like I know what's going on. Like I don't report on it every day, but like you can't, like there's a lot to cover, but I do go back like every other week. I used to report on it every day. And I would love to, but the reality is, like, I can just tell you they're killing people indiscriminately. Every day.
Right. There's no ceasefire.
No,
that's
doesn't
all.
exist.
I can't believe that our media even uses those words. Like,
I know.
Oh, the ceasefire's under threat. What ceasefire? They're still killing children. Like I don't understand where that logic comes from.
The world uses that word. That's the craziest part, right? The ceasefire in Lebanon, the ceasefire in Gaza, the ceasefire in what the peace deal in Ukraine, what peace deal? Like they say one thing, but if you watch fucking Putin speak, you watch Putin open his mouth and speak, he says, there's no peace. I don't want peace.
Right.
Okay, so why the fuck are you talking about a peace deal when the only party who has to agree to that peace deal for it to work has no interest in ending? Like what is that? Like it's just like lying to the world. Like there is no peace deal, and the markets fucking react to that shit. That's what blows my mind. So like a peace deal has been announced in Ukraine, and then defense stocks fucking like go down, and they all go and buy in. And it's like, dude, are they just using that shit to fucking like pump and dump stocks? Like, is that what's going on? Like, is that what these headlines are?
Yeah, and then real quick, I want to shout out some people. Everybody say good morning. Yeah. Good morning. There's someone in the comments here, Elizabeth Raven. She's an educator in Venezuela. Who's been posting stuff on Notes, showing pictures of her class and basically what daily life is like in Venezuela, and it's not what the U.S. media portrays it. But to touch on what you were saying about markets, I was just reading an article in Responsible Statecraft about Polymarket and how a bunch of people bet like a total of $1.3 million that Russia would take a certain town in Ukraine. And one of the think tanks that they were monitoring for Polymarket that has a live map, it's the Institute for the Study of War.
Yep.
ISW. Yep. And dude went in there, manipulated the map, triggering a massive payout. And like there's this, I don't know why this isn't bigger news, because
this whole cow sheep Polymarket thing, dude, is fucking crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, I get that. Like you talk to Marlin, and they're more accurate than like say polling in elections and things like that. And that's the scary part, is that these market prediction apps or whatever, they're gambling basically, and they are deadly accurate. And that's why people put money on it.
How are they accurate though? Because like, I guess my question in response to that would be, not to like, this is just my like, because like when I hear that, I think, well, how can they be accurate? Because only people with money can bet on it, right? Like what's accurate? Like what are we talking about in accuracy? Like maybe if we're talking about like some sort of financial thing, right? Or like,
politics,
is the Fed going to cut rates? Like, yes, they all knew the Fed was going to cut rates because they've been lobbying the governors for fucking months, right? Like they've been of course they cut rates. The whole thing, the reason they need to cut rates is because all of their real estate, commercial real estate loans are about to come due and they can't pay them. But if they cut rates, they can refinance everything and they won't have to sell it back to people.
Yeah.
That's why they've been bitching like crazy about this cut, because they need the cut to refinance all of the fucking debt that they have that they can't do anything with, because if they don't, they have to sell it back to us for affordable prices.
Another fucking bailout.
That?
So there's bailouts on top of bailouts, and we never even talk about that shit.
It's just like, that's one of the most disheartening things for me, is because like I know like we're fighting optically, we got to get rid of Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Yes, but like,
it's bigger.
But like, you know what hurts us more is what they just did in the Fed. And that's a footnote, right? Because like that was affordable housing, right? Like the Fed not cutting rates, that forces them to make hard decisions. That forces them to default on these loans, right? It doesn't let them refinance these things. Like this was a bailout. And we just watched it happen. And like, Jerome Powell and it's like all these people, like I don't think he would have cut rates. Like, and I'm telling you, when he puts the new person in, dude, they're just going to start cutting rates like fucking crazy. You're going to see them like take off like 50 points. Like you're just going to be like, what the fuck? Because they're just going to start refinancing all their shit so they can buy everything, because they're talking about, inflation's going to go down. It's going to go down because people are going to run out of money. And so it's like called disinflation, where like it slows down, but for the wrong reasons, because people can't, like everyone's going to default on their debts, but they're going to refinance their debts. And it's going to basically, and if I was looking at like JP Morgan's position, and like they've cleaned up like all their stuff and they've moved all their money, and they've got like they've got a $2 trillion slush fund. They're just sitting on $2 trillion.
Oh, they're just waiting. Yeah.
Just
to buy up all the farmland and everything.
They're going to become like the only bank.
Yeah.
Like the bank of the regime. And this shit is fucking happening. Like and it's just like, get rid of Trump. The Republicans are going to leave Congress.
Yeah.
That's great, I guess, because at this point, the only alternative is to seize the entirety of JP Morgan and break it up into like 60 different fucking banks.
Yes.
Because it's going to become a mega bank.
Yep.
Like this is like, and then this is how they realize rent for life, because they refinance all the shit they bought that they couldn't hold.
Yeah.
And then they buy more.
I wrote an article this week about that too, where it's just, we can't be so distracted by all the corruption, and it's really important to keep track of all the fucking corruption, but there's a bigger issue, you know, and it's changing everybody's mind. We can't worship profit anymore. And this mechanism that put that fucking vile human being, you know, that vile toast turtle onto the post, you know, it's like, how bad? I mean, they couldn't find a better candidate than this guy. This is the guy they put into that position that's just foul, with just not one quality to him. There's not one good thing. He's ugly. He's impossible to look at. He's cruel. And that's the guy they have the power to put in charge of the free world. That the mechanism that caused that is our enemy. We have to take all that down, and all these things of corruption that we're bringing up. I mean, I don't need any evidence anymore at this point. I know it's corrupt. It's like all these people need to be held accountable. But yeah, there's a bigger picture there, and we got to dismantle this whole fucking structure.
Right, because that's the danger in blaming Trump for any of the stuff we're seeing, from ICE raids to the markets to housing affordability, all that stuff. You know, if you just blame Trump for that, and we saw this when Biden was elected after Trump's first term, people automatically started, you know, once Trump was gone, started looking away from immigration, started looking away from a lot of things, thinking that just because he's gone, these problems are solved. But at the end of the day, ICE was just as bad as they are now. It's just, you know, we get to see it because the Trump administration is spending $200 million having cameras follow them around to make propaganda. You know, so yeah, there's a real danger in just blaming the one guy or the one administration when these issues are systemic and they've been around for a long time. And when you look at the JP Morgans and stuff like that, their solution to the housing crisis is build to rent communities. And that's going to lock you into, like Shane said, being a renter for life. You will never own anything if the banks own all the land and all they're willing to do is rent it to you.
Yeah.
So rather than address the housing crisis, like we have so many vacant houses in this country, right? And we think the solution to solving the housing crisis is just keep building, when we could actually house all the homeless people right now with vacant houses in this country. Yeah. So the idea is there all these, you know, banks and you know, investors owning all the homes and the land and stuff like that. They're doing that to raise you know, the value of the market by making housing scarce. And then their solution is build to rent communities. And then they're going to maintain all this land. They bought a house right before or after the housing market crashed for $100,000, $200,000. They sit on it. That house is vacant. They could level that house now and sell it for probably 10 times, sell the empty lot for 10 times more than they bought it for. And that's kind of the game. You know, to own a house, you're going to have to be rich, plain and simple. 50-year mortgages. Come on, man. Build to rent communities. I mean, that's all a scam.
One of the things I've noticed too, now that, I mean, I'm old enough where it's like you remember, and one of the things that really scares me is how quickly people forget, particularly young people. I don't know how you feel about it, Shane, but it's like when I was growing up, I was like, yeah, of course I'll be able to buy a house. Yeah. But within one generation, you can brainwash all the kids to make them think, oh, this is just normal that we rent to some like evil, all-powerful corporation. That's just the way life is. And I'm already kind of seeing that. So it's so critical, especially now for older people, to speak up, you know, and just say, hey, it doesn't, you know, like, because I mean, my friend Bob Dana is really great. He's retired, former Navy guy. And I just ask him, and it just provide, and like, am I out of my mind here? And he's just like, no, what you're saying is totally rational. And you just need those older people that can add that perspective and say, there are better times. We have had a government that works for the people. All these things are possible. He got his education for free. That happened in the United States. People say that's not possible. It has been the standard in the United States in the past. And all that, I mean, this censorship and this AI movement, control of all media, I mean, they're not even covering. I mean, at least during COVID, we got to know all the people that were dying. At least the media mentioned it. Right now, I think a lot of people are dying and they're just not even talking about it.
Yeah, it's the industrialization of everything. That's basically what it is.
I think what you said was important, Walter, because what I will say is, like, we live in a point where no one gets to retire. So you're actually starting to see, I think, more of a mixing of generations than you've seen before. Like, for example, when I worked in retail at Home Depot, I worked with people who were in their 40s. I worked with people who were in their 80s. I worked with people who were in, their 20s and their 30s. I can tell you that the people in their 20s and their 30s, it's like, it's kind of not like we've forgotten. And I think it's weird because there is this kind of propaganda. Like, they still think they can get rich, right? Like, they think they can get rich. Like, I'll get rich. But the way they're convincing these people they're going to get rich is Kalshi and crypto. Okay? So, right? Because the whole American thing is like, you got to find the niche. You got to find the niche and you'll get rich, right? So it's crypto now. It's going to be crypto, it's like, if you're not crypto savvy, and those ads I get all the time. I don't know if you get these ads or if they're targeting a certain demographic, but it's like, if you want to have a job in 5 years, you need to know how to use these 5 AI tools. AI is evolving quickly. And if you're not on the cusp of AI, then you're going to be without a job. Right. And so, it's one of those situations where I think it's really important that older folks remind, people's like, I bought my house when I was 25.
Yeah.
Like, if you like, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. You did what? You bought your house? I can't even buy, like, it took me like my whole life savings to buy this car, and I don't even own it outright. You bought a house? Get the fuck out of here. Right? Like, but you have to remind young people that actually that's how it should be.
Yes.
Like, this is you are not, what you think is reasonable is entirely unreasonable, my friend. Yeah. Like, I had such great friendships with people who were 4 times my age, right? Like 3 plus times my age. Because I felt like they were grounded in reality. But it helped me be grounded in reality to talk to someone who was like, yeah, Shane, like, you should be able to buy a house. Like, I was able to buy a house. And so, like, that's what, like, if there's something, I think that if you're feeling like you're older and you're like, I don't know what to do, talk to young people about what your life was like and how you, like, had opportunities that they can't even fathom.
Young people are scared and they need the mentors right now. They really, and I mean, sometimes it comes out as hostility, but you just get through that little initial thing and then you can talk to them, you see, and it's just saddening how every piece of advice an older person will give you is 180 degrees different than, everything that the media says. It's like, it's just flat out lies. We just get constant tidal wave of lie after lie after lie. And we just have to speak out, particularly the people with experience who know things. To just one person is fine. It doesn't have to be a big, huge thing. Just talk to one kid today, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, you look around, like in my neighborhood, almost every house here, our house is multi-generational. All of our neighbors, multi-generational. There for a while, when my oldest son was in between housing, he was trying to buy a house, right? But had to give up the apartment in order to be able to save money. So we had 3 generations. And when the grandkids were here, it was 4 generations of people in this house. And, we're back down to 2 generations or 3 generations, but where everybody's in a multi-generational house, because it's next to impossible to be forget being a single income earner and having a stay-at-home spouse, right? You'd be lucky to be a single income family and be able to afford a house, or a multi-income family and to be able to afford a house. So, it's, our house is big, but like it's, there's a lot of us here, and that's just kind of how the situation so many of us are in. My folks are older, and we're middle age, and it's just one of those things that just has to be that way now, because there are no other options, for a lot of us to get out there. So yeah, when you look around and you see these multi-generational houses, that also speaks to the current housing issue that we're facing. There's a lot of people that may be housed, but they don't have a home. They don't have their own home.
Melissa,
yeah, that's a good point. You
Melissa just said
have shelter and not have a home, right?
Right.
That's a good point.
Melissa says she has 3 generations in the home, and maybe, once people can't afford the internet anymore and they can't afford their own house and they have to live with their grandparents, maybe that'll help us in a way where we'll have people actually sharing ideas that are reasonable, like, rather than being indoctrinated by all this AI bullshit and all the tech lords with their bots. So maybe that's the silver line. As they keep pressuring us, we can become stronger, but God, it'd be nice if we could avoid all the hardship that's going on right now and just share a little bit more of the wealth.
And while we're talking about this, it reminds me of something. And it's like my eternal frustration, right? When I talk to my father-in-law, okay, and he goes, well, I got my first house when I was 25. I got it working on my Marine salary and my gas station salary. You just need to save money, and you can do it. And I'm like, look, bud, like your purchasing power was, you had 70% more purchasing power when you were my age than I do now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you understand that, like, my money is not worth what your money was. It doesn't even, our realities do not correlate, bro. Like, they are not the same. Like, you have what you have now, and it has the same value as when you bought it. Okay. Adjusted for inflation, but that doesn't mean that the same dollar that I'm being paid now is representative in the market. And it's like, it makes a lot of young people frustrated with older people, because like, it's like, well, you don't fucking understand. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, telling me to work harder to save, like, fuck you. Like, because it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're telling someone to work harder and to save, and, say that, oh, these young generations, they don't know how to hustle, don't know how to work. Like, trust me, if we had to go out in a field, right? If I could go out in a field and like pick crops or whatever these jobs, if they were that are even so undesirable, considering, right, that all the, people in older generations, they had to do these things that are harder than what we have to do now. If I could do that and buy a house in 2 years, I'd be out there every fucking day, every single goddamn day.
Right.
But the reality is, like, why would you go and do that when it's not even going to get you close to the home you're going to get?
Yeah. Like I work,
like,
dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, people would do it, but there's no point. Like, what's the point of like suffering and like, because like we will suffer for a result, right? Like, people work hard through hard things to achieve tangible goals.
I worked in the trades, man, for a couple of decades, and I did a lot of concrete work, climbed a lot of telephone poles, because I did a lot of telecom work too. That's what we did in Katrina. And the whole work harder mantra left me with 5 herniated discs in my back. I had a stroke. I fell off, I don't know how many telephone poles, falling 30 feet and hitting the ground. I don't care if it's mud or concrete. It hurts just as bad either way. So the whole mantra of working harder, I broke my body and put a lot of my life at risk, and it really didn't help at all. Yeah. So, the pay, no matter how hard you work, the pay is still the same. Falling off a telephone pole does not pay more. It costs more. So that whole mantra is just BS. They'll pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's easy to say, but when you're taking away my bootlaces or stealing one of my boots, it's not exactly easy.
Yes.
So yeah, these older folks, what they bought Mustangs for like $3,000, Cadillacs
get
for
the
like
fuck
$5,000.
out of here, dude.
Right? Like,
Get
shut
out of
up,
here.
dude. Like, I gotta pay $100,000 for a Mustang that you paid $3,000 for.
Yeah.
Fuck off, dude. Like, no way.
Their Mustang still runs, dude.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
Right, exactly.
But this is really important because this mechanism of promoting or like billionaires, all they've done for the last 100 years is create this propaganda mechanism to make us think that it's okay to be a billionaire, and it's not just one thing in your head. It's not just lift yourself up by your butt. There's thing after thing after thing. Well, it's okay to have money, all these different lies that they tell, and we have to counter those every time. It's really important to take back the messaging upon that. We have to get the whole United States, every person in the United States, to understand that it's evil to be a billionaire. Somebody put up a meme the other day where they went to a Christmas Carol, Bob Cratchit in A Christmas Carol, and they calculated how much he was making and put it into today's terms. It's like it was the equivalent of $13.50 an hour. So it's just sort of like fucking Bob Cratchit was making twice as much as minimum wage. It's like, people, wake the fuck up. It's like, stop defending billionaires.
Like, dude, the federal minimum wage is less than fucking $10.
Yeah.
It's less
way
than
less.
$10.
Closer to 5 than to 10, isn't it?
You got to work 2 hours for one meal just to eat. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You can't even hit the McDonald's dollar menu anymore on federal minimum wage and walk away with enough food for 2 people.
Right.
That's that 1 hour of your time.
Just work harder, buddy. Well, while that guy's taking in all the money, he's making $100 for every 7 he gives you. That's fucking bullshit. People got to be aware that
productivity's up. Like productivity's up. You know, like just look at a graph. Like, take a graph of productivity growth versus wages from 1970 to now, and then tell me that everything is okay. It's the first thing I ever started writing about when I got on Substack was the wealth disparity. Like, that was my core. That's how I got here. And then that focus on wealth disparity, like, if you look at that long enough, it naturally takes you into the abusive corporate corruption nexus that is America.
Yep.
And like, if you look hard enough, like, there is no justification for capitalism as it stands.
There's endless money for the police force. When people start starving to death and they're like, I'm going to steal something to eat. Oh, we got to give $1 billion to people so they have tanks so we can. And it's like, you're already so weak. Somebody put too, like, even just like the pressure we put on women to be half starved all the time. They're just like, who do you think it benefits that you're exhausted from starvation all the time? We make that the beauty ideal so that you can't resist oppression, and all these things are interlocked. It's all part of a mechanism.
Yeah, that's a damn good point.
Fuck, it's scary. Yeah,
it is. And somebody asked, what's a pension? That's another thing these old folks have. They had pensions. Cops have pensions. Even all the money we give cops, they have pensions. Nobody has pensions anymore.
You want to know some crazy shit about pensions?
It's just nuts.
You finish what you're saying, but I got some crazy shit about
pensions. Go ahead. Okay.
So I'm looking at how this crash is going to work, right? And all the credit card defaults. So these pensions, right? They're scrambling. They're looking for something to buy, right? To fill up these pensions. You know what they went and bought? Credit card debt. You know what's about to happen to all of the pensions?
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Not fucking
For what
good
industries?
at all.
What industries?
Like, it was just because they were like cheap, they're like looking for a place to put all the capital for the pension funds. And they went and they bought all of this, debt-backed security from the credit card companies. These corporations and everything, like, they just like, nobody watched their money. Like, they just were like, trust me, bro. Like, Melissa Gorgon, she's like been on this, and I really like, that is their fucking mandate. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah. Wink, wink. We're not going to rape you. Wink, wink. And then somebody the other day, they put like giving people the benefit of the doubt, and somebody put that only applies to like white dudes. It's like, you don't give anybody else the benefit of the doubt. Oh, how dare you say that this guy's a vile child rapist? And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh shit, he's got me again. It's just like, then you're like criticized even for suggesting that some of these people could be fucking evil bastards. And then when you get you, then there's never any apology or accountability. Yeah, at some point when we're sitting there deciding whether we got to break the law or starve, I'm not going to watch my kids starve.
Meanwhile, I talked to Elizabeth in Venezuela, and she talks about how physics is their national sport. I'm like, we're dumb as a box of rocks up here, man. Like,
what is over here? Like I hate to say it because it's like I don't even like want to appear conceited, but like I can't talk to so many of my peers because they're so fucking dumb.
Oh, it's so tough. Yeah.
It's like I want to like talk to people about things, but like they don't know how to like dudes don't know how to talk about anything other than like,
well, it's so hard to break through.
Ass and video games. Like that's where we're at, dude. Like one, you sound like a misogynist prick 24/7. Two, do something, like read a fucking book, yo. Like it really bothers me that these dudes like my age don't know how to read. Like they can't sit down and like read a book. Like they can't do it. Like this is too much. They look at this and they're like, that's way too much.
That was true when I was growing up too. People, maybe that's why we got here, but it was unusual because I would bring a book to every class and I was the only one, but it was a pretty small place. But you just like the distractions. Everything is just a distraction. Go ahead. What?
I was like, I blow through books, man, like constantly. But go ahead, Walter.
But everything's just a distraction these days. I mean, we're in this because everybody watches their net. You watch your movie or you play your video games or you get drunk, and it's just like I think there's an awareness. It's just a matter of breaking through. It's like, look, all these frustrations. If we can, and then we have the hate groups that capitalize on the frustration because everybody knows there's no goddamn way to succeed now. There's no way to make enough money to get anything you want. So if we could, but the hate groups know how to leverage that frustration and turn it back against the people they're trying to oppress. So I guess we have to figure out the messaging to get people activated. Woke is the word. Wake them back. That's why they're so anti-woke. They know that's the fucking key to winning this over. Because there is an army out there that's really fucking pissed that has the power to change this. We're already designed not to communicate with each other. We don't talk to each other like, we don't talk to older or younger generations.
Is young people accept it. That's my deepest fear.
Well, our school systems
accept this. Was 20 years, was 11 years long enough to groom 2 generations into accepting a curated reality? Like, we don't fucking know the scientific effects. It has not been studied. It was intentionally not studied. Without guardrails. We don't know how effective a propaganda operation to literally restructure reality on generations of young people, how that works, what that looks like. That's like why like my focus like has always been I want to get on YouTube. Like I'm trying to figure out how to get a video editor. If anyone here is a video editor that is willing to volunteer their time. Okay. Like I'm trying to get on YouTube because like we do all these lives. There's a very particular format young people like. If you're like willing to come on and help like cut this kind of shit together and present it to young people, we need to reach young people. We need to break into their sphere of reality. I have the aesthetic. I have the appearance to reach a young dude. They're not going to look at me and be like, oh, dude, like, look at that fucking, like I'm a Californian, the misogynist will often mistake me as one of them. Right. I can infiltrate a space and like, I need to, I that's like what I want to do. And unfortunately the people on Substack, not in that anything is wrong with you guys, but you guys tend to be smarter. And you tend to be older, more knowledgeable.
Well, we got to bring more people into the fold. We all got to be thinking about how to do this. Get our message to more people. Get it where it needs to be. I think about it all the time.
I guess like also like that's really I think the biggest takeaway I think I'm having from this conversation is like the power you guys have to like restructure reality. Because I promise the reality they've been given is not what they want. Okay, like if you told them that they could own a home. They would be like, whoa, wait, really? Like it doesn't even fucking occur to them. Like that's what I guess it does not. It over the course of my life, I guess I came to realize that's not. I don't get a house. That's not cards for me. If I get a house, it's the house that like my parents want, or the
Yeah,
house I get
there's
to live in is one that we were able to rent because it was a property that was in their family, and they chose to allow us to rent it as opposed to another person, right? But like the likelihood of even that, and having like a family rent rate, which is still high considered, but like it's better than, you know, it's not
yeah.
extortionary, right? Like, you know, like these things, um, it just doesn't, it just is, it's like, it's not feasible, it's not reality. Like reality, and like the only way to like break someone out of a cult, right, is
Yeah.
to like show them that like the world is actually different outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
we have
there's
to start viewing the entire national perception of these people as
yeah,
they've been put in a cult, because we've never seen the ability to scale like a cult or an ideology up on a level at the speed that I think they've been able to do with, you know, Meta and Instagram, because all of these kids are on Instagram. Like they love Meta. They love Meta. Like Meta's the devil. Like Meta is actually the devil. Like if there is one social media platform that is like the worst thing,
it's a social engineering platform. I
yeah,
mean, that's
yeah,
what it is. That's if you wanted to use an example for social engineering, it's Meta. But you know, there's a lot of things too that you know we learn as we get older, right? So you know, Walter can attest to this too. You come out of high school with this,
Oh,
you know, blurred education about our history, things like
yeah.
that, right? So you know, you're not going to know about the atrocities we do committed in Latin America and the rest of the world until you leave that structure, you start getting into college, you start interacting with people, you know, and you start talking to people who are the victims of these things, right? Even economic conditions, you know, like the history of redlining to keep black people out of certain communities. You know, you start learning about all these tactics. And then when you start seeing the greed
Mhm.
factor and how all these tactics eventually evolve to affect more and more people, and they start impacting the poor white people along with marginalized groups, then you start seeing it. Like you go to Appalachia, white folks are struggling there just as much as anybody in the inner city. And, you know, they don't typically have a voice, right? Because they're way out in, you know, the middle of nowhere, so to speak. And it starts affecting more and more people. And I think, Shane, like you were saying, you're in a good position to help transition from
Yes.
that blurred, watered down thing that everybody, all these young folks, and a lot of people in Gen X too,
Yeah.
in our generation, still see things like we said one time, smooth brain, right? Surface
Yeah.
level. They don't dig deeper down.
discover your
Um,
ridges. You can
right.
do
So
it.
when you start bringing these things up and
Yeah.
start showing them like this is why this is happening,
Yeah.
more and more people start to see it. And I think that's where a lot of people turning on the Republican Party, I think a lot of
Yes.
that's where that's coming from.
I think we really need to dismantle the authoritarian power structures that are out
Right.
there. And that goes all the way to education. And I had an example because what you were saying, Shane, because when I was teaching, I never liked I'm the strict authoritarian. I would go to my classes and straight up say, it's like, I'm going to make mistakes. This is a process. We're all on the same level. We're trying to learn together. And, you know, like when I was getting my certificate, the other mentor teacher was getting pissed, you know, because they're just like, this whole class is gonna go away. You know, I'm not gonna be able to control them because you're being so easy on them. But I'd be in class, I would get standing ovations, you know, at the end of my term teaching these kids because it was just but like instantly, the second you get in front of a room of kids and I didn't even have to say anything. They could just tell by my demeanor I wasn't going to be this authoritarian jackass who like lectured them. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this. They instantly pay attention. They instantly
Right.
did better on all their assignments. And so these are just things that we all maintain because we've been indoctrinated and groomed to maintain this authoritarian bullshit. Religion has a lot to do with it. The Christian church does. Oh, you know, Almighty God who can't be contradicted, or you always have to obey. That's a big problem. But then what also happened was the teachers would find ways to disbelieve that my way was better. They're like, well, that kid's over there she's doodling in her notebook. I'm like, well, she got 100% on the last test. If
Who
doodling
fucking
helps her
cares?
absorb the information, who gives a shit? You know,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
they should be sitting there just like this. It's like you're in this image in your mind of how students should behave is complete bullshit. But of course, I couldn't say that because I'm trying to get my degree. I'm just trying to work around it. And so much of American society is us working around these obstacles to try to get where we need to go. We need to start toppling those obstacles. They're a fucking waste of effort. And they create that veil where even good people, because I know in my 50 years, I'm a lot more inclined to just avoid a problem. It's like, I can get around this asshole, just go around him, rather than think to myself, what about the next 100 people that don't have the abilities I do? That asshole's going to put them down. So we've got to overcome those people together.
I was lucky, I think, with my teachers. Like all my teachers, like they, like my American history teacher in particular. Shout out Mr. Lewis, Poway High School. You know, he had this particular project, was like my favorite, where we had to write we had two of them, one each semester, but you had to write it like a massive paper about a historical event, a kind of paper where you couldn't possibly just read what was in the history book. So my first one was 21 pages on the Battle of the Bulge, and my second one was 19 pages on the history of submarines. So the Turtle and the CSS Hunley were
Civil War.
Yeah, during the Civil War submarine. Super, like a great project.
I know that story. It's fucking bizarre.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah, but all of that, like, I couldn't just get that from a history book. Like, you had to go look. You had to like have your sources cited. Like, that project was invaluable because I still use that structure and that methodology when I do my corporate criminal, money laundering, geopolitical mapping, you know, such like reports. That's the same thing. But you had to look beyond the history book, and that was the value. He would teach reality on top of the textbook, right? He would do the part that he was supposed to do, right? He would teach the textbook, but he wouldn't stop there. And that's not what the test was made about. It was made about reality. And like, that's where I think like there's teachers like that who get around. But like, if you don't have a good teacher, like Walter, like those people who just are like, you know, oh, he's doodling. Like I was probably by the observational metric, I was a terrible student. Okay. Like I absorbed the information, but like I liked the information. So like once I got it, I was bored. I didn't need all the
I was the same way.
Right. So it's like the teachers like would realize like, okay, he's smart. Like, you know, I'm either going to leave him alone, or they would just, you know, I'm like their nightmare. You know, I'm like the kid they send in the hall, but also gets 100% on the test. So it's like, how angry can you really be? They're like, I hate you as a child, but like as a student, numerically, I don't know how, like, you know, I'm the guy who like literally walked out of my German class because my teacher accused me of cheating, and I like took her to the principal's office, you know, like this, like, you know, it's like I was that student. But like I got what I needed, but it's because my mind was inquisitive, because I was asking questions, and most people, I think my age, the more they're just like force-fed garbage on the internet from a young age. Like I'm really worried about these iPad kids. You know, like they've got like 2-year-olds in the Costco cart who are like this. I'm like, dude,
I hadn't realized that, but my kids never got smartphones, and I didn't realize because I gave them like a flip phone for it's like you need me to pick you up after practice or whatever. You have that, but it's just something that's like I didn't realize what an important decision this was. I mean, we spend all our time drawing and reading and doing creative things anyway, but it's just sort of like their brains become seized, you know. It's like, and they like start jonesing for their iPads when they don't have them.
They're addicted.
Like, what am I gonna do?
It's addictive. It's because I think the screens, okay, like let's be honest, like they have scientists figuring out how to make this shit as addictive as possible. Addictive as possible. Okay, like they're trying to like trigger the dopamine reaction. That's what the heart is. That's what makes all this shit so malicious on Instagram. That's why you had young people killing themselves. Like there was multiple suicides in my school district of teenagers, okay, like under 20 in high school, because of online bullying or their perception or the things that, the social media caused them to feel. I was part of a peer counseling program. Okay. So like, it was like volunteer, you got to go to like a retreat, and it was kind of like a little clicky cult kind of a thing. But like the idea of it was solid, and like I lived the reality. Like it was either you could either like do the whole cool kids club thing and like be like, ooh, because like I digress. But the point was like you would go and talk to your peers, like you offer them someone to talk to, you get some fundamental training on like how to offer support without taking all that shit onto yourself or whatever. But like this is the kind of thing that my peers would struggle with when I talk to them, is like I'm depressed because people are bullying me on Instagram, or I get like no likes, and like all the kids who get likes hang out in the quad, and I have to eat my lunch by myself because I'm not in that clique, right? Like people, it's like really concerning just to see like 20-year-olds living through their phones. Like, I struggled sometimes, like, for example, because when I went to Machu Picchu, I'm like walking around, I'm like, I want to take pictures, but like, dude, I want to live this, right? Like, I want to live this.
Right.
I don't want to be like living this through my camera. And how many people you see in these magnificent places like this? Like they're not even seeing it with their own eyes. They're seeing it through a screen. Like that's not the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's scary.
It is. There was in my kids' high school, and my oldest is or older than you are, Shane. He's 28, and I remember through all three of their experiences through high school and stuff, seemed like suicides constantly, and at the school, and they didn't have what you were talking about. They were the first generation with social media in high school, so like it was kind of chaotic, and the way you just explained it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of the issues that were occurring then. And it's just weird, because I remember in high school there was some suicides and stuff, but it wasn't as common as it was when my kids were in school. And everybody assumed it was social media, the bullying, being outcast, basically, because it's the same thing as the little cliques at school, but more amplified.
You can't get away from it.
And you cannot escape it, right?
Always.
And
it's
crazy.
I had a really interesting conversation. I think it was last week. I can't remember all the when I even talked to people, but this guy was he was like a tech guy, and he wanted my advice because I realized we were kind of looking at things from the other side of the screen. Like I try to write an article to get engagement, and he's coming at it the other side, like if I had a platform, what stories should I elevate? That kind of difference was really interesting to talk to him. And what emerged was, these social media platforms, essentially, they're just bullies. They're deliberately, they are manifestations of bullies. They only promote the evil content. And we're seeing that reflected in our society because for some fucking reason, people like to vote for bullies like they've never had to deal with a fucking bully. But then it just kind of gets to one of the things he said was we can change all algorithms. We can make it so it promotes positive content. We can make it so these social media platforms are our friends rather than make us feel welcome rather than make us feel isolated. But of course, everybody in Congress is 180 years old, so they don't have any awareness of what this is. Probably they don't even have social media accounts. They don't know what's out there. But another problem we have to do is we have to just take on this task of dismantling or deconstructing bullies in general. We have to understand that bully mindset. And they're the people that make accusations, and every time it's a confession, I think you know who I'm talking about, and we can push them into collapse. And I wrote an article about this not too long ago too, because this idea of treating bullies with empathy is completely fucking wrong. I was like the other day when somebody was like, the Democratic Party is like the stupid dad who tells you to have a discussion with your bully, and then he sends you off and you get the shit kicked out of you because they never listen. And so he's able to give this kind of bullshit advice without ever having to endure the negative, horrible consequences of that bad advice. And the reality is you have to make the abuses stop. I mean, we can have discourse once there's no abuse. If you come across a guy raping a kid, you don't say, hey, Please stop doing that. You fuck that guy up.
No.
You save that kid.
Right.
You worry about the kid's feelings, not the bully's feelings. And then you set the bully up and say that was wrong. And you keep on him that he was wrong. You don't try to hear his point of view. You tell him he's wrong until he breaks down. And once he's broken down, then you can show empathy. That's how this works. And that's what everybody has to know.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times too, it's as simple as questions, right? Like we saw Benny Thompson take down Mr. Antifa at the congressional hearing. Like, where's their where are the headquarters? Who is their leader? You know, why are they such a threat?
It's ongoing. It's developing.
Right.
It's evolving. It's what, bro? What?
Right.
What
bullies
is
never
it?
expect you to ask the basic question.
Yeah.
And that undermines everything. I mean, they're living in a world of hyperbole. And it took somebody as smooth and as cool and as calm and collected as Benny Thompson is when it comes to a hearing. Where is their headquarters?
Yeah. I wish they would go harder on these people, dude. Like, you know,
that's our task, though. We have to push them to go harder on because they keep treating it like they have a valid viewpoint. Some viewpoints are not valid. We brought that up a lot of different times. It's not a valid viewpoint to be a bully. That's an end of your life. It's an end of everybody around you. You're fucking toxic. You're hurting people. That's not allowed. That's not okay. That's not somebody I can agree to disagree with. That person's fucking wrong, and they need to be stopped. And that's what we're living. That's the world we're living in right now.
Plain and simple, right? I mean, I mean, it's like with the racism. That's not a valid viewpoint. That's not something I'm going to give credence to. That's not something I'm willing to debate, right? Like, no, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, you hate black people, tough shit, man. That's you. That's a you problem. You hate Latinos. That's a you problem, bro. Like, why are you talking to me about it?
That's such an interesting comment because on the dialogue this week, I had I think me and John Oliver were talking, and I don't know if I would call it a disagreement as much as misalignment, but basically he's going like, I think that, people, if they're at a university or whatever, they should be able to say whatever they want so that it can be disproven by fact. And I'm like, dude, I appreciate that. And like, in theory, in an ideal world, sure. But like, and he's like, well, you can't just remove things. Like, you can't just say like, oh, we can't talk about this. I'm like, sure. Like, that's true. Like, and I'm not saying don't teach the fact that, Southern people in the KKK were racist as fuck and they lynched people and they were horrible people. But those ideas were also like proven to be totally fruitless, unbased in anything, and just straight up racism. So we can teach that, but we don't need to platform this person. We don't need to let this person step up on a university stage where they get credibility or sit at a CNN table and argue the merits of racism. Like it's some sort of idea to consider. Like that's not like that in itself. Like, and the argument then became, okay, well, like sometimes the consensus is 95% of something is correct, but the 5%, like look at Galileo. I'm like, sure, okay. If you want to have a professional discussion about something like that, for example, then have that as a closed discussion between professionals, right? Like if you're going to say vaccines cause autism, okay, well, that's totally unfounded, unproven, yet you continue to let these people go up there and talk with some level of credibility that vaccines cause autism from a platform like that. Well, that is damaging. Now, if the scientists who are making vaccines behind closed doors want to say, well, let's reevaluate that. Let's make 100% sure that they don't cause autism. That's fine. The difference is when you allow the internet to basically present something that's entirely false as valid because you can just present it without the opposing viewpoint. If Joe Rogan lets you sit there and talk about how fucking aliens are stealing your underwear, and this guy can like ramble off a bunch of facts and then give Joe a tinfoil hat that he puts on, like, damn, well, I never thought about it that way. Like, what's his name? Graham Hancock. He's this guy who basically like believes that this whole conspiracy theory that Atlantis was real and all these things. And like, personally, I'm inclined, it's one of my like deep fantasies. Like, dude, I know I want Atlantis to be real. I think something's out there. I think there's a city under the ocean. I think there's lots of cities under the ocean. I could go, I digress. Anyway, I don't know. My whole point about this, I don't know how I got here, but
we're talking about free speech.
It's early in the morning, but basically, yeah, this free speech where, there's a difference between hate speech, right, and racism, and allowing people to say things, right? Like if it's been proven wrong, if it's just fucking racist, we can talk about the fact that it was racist and that happened, but like let's not like continue to present it as like a valid viewpoint. Like gaslighting people that the economy works for them. Like it clearly fucking doesn't.
Yeah, Piers Morgan learned that lesson just recently by bringing on Nick Fuentes and did a 2-hour fucking interview with him. And I hate Piers Morgan, but he gave Nick Fuentes a run for his money. The problem with it is Nick Fuentes doesn't care about being wrong. Nick Fuentes thinks it's funny. He thinks it's trolling, and his little groypers treated it as, Nick Fuentes owned Piers Morgan. I mean, he didn't, but still. That's how they see it. And that's why you don't platform these bigots. He does not have a guy who says he loves Hitler and who once told his parents he thinks Hitler was right. That guy does not deserve a platform. His viewpoint is invalid. He told Piers Morgan he's a virgin, but he's over here telling people how to deal with women. Bro, no, stop listening to this guy. He has no credibility, nothing whatsoever.
I have a real concern, a bigger concern too, rather than the people that are complete lunatics. I have a problem with the academics who are so insulated. They forget to even mention that when they say things like, we should be able to debate any idea. There's already the inherent assumption that some ideas are excluded. They're just not saying it. We know that there's restrictions on speech. A doctor can't walk into a room and say, hey, I just talked to this, I just examined this 5-year-old and she has this problem. You can't do that, Right. And so it's like, this professor understands that, but he's not understanding the bully mindset that's driving our culture, because we got these free speech, these intellectually dishonest, what they call themselves free speech activists, when really all they're trying to do is allow themselves to do speech that hurts people. So that's what everybody always has to say. It's like, we should debate all ideas, provided it's not an idea, the expression of that idea results in people getting hurt, like either then or later. I don't want my kids to go on a college campus and have some fucking racist say they're subhuman, because my wife's an immigrant.
As soon as you're inciting people, that's when it becomes a problem.
And we have that problem.
Right. And that's literally part of the law. You know what I mean? As far as free speech goes. So, that's the thing. Like a lot of people, we seem to forget that harassment and assault exist, and assault isn't necessarily physical. You threaten somebody, that's assault, right? If you threaten somebody's life, that's a terroristic threat in Texas, a freaking felony. So, there are limits to speech. If a black man's walking down the street and a white dude's right near his ear screeching the N-word over and over and over again, that's not free speech. That's harassment. And at some point it will become assault. So, these free speech absolutists and even some of these college professors are overlooking that fact. And that leads to cops overlooking that fact. Somebody goes over there and tries to incite you, provoke you into a fight or something like that. Well, in Texas, if you try to provoke me, that technically makes you a willing participant. And if I whoop your ass, it's because you deserved it. But at the end of the day, that speech is what incited me, right? That speech is why I'm allowed to kick his ass, because he threatened me or he said something about my kids or provoked me in a certain way, making him a willing participant. So, there are limits, and these college professors aren't thinking that. They're thinking people should be able to say whatever they want. No, you shouldn't be able to punch them in the face. Sorry, the law says otherwise. You know what I mean? And it says that for a reason. Texas has dueling laws. You challenge somebody to a duel, and if they beat your ass,
temporarily expand the Texas law base so we can all just attack fucking Nazis really quick. Like, let's just take Texas, let's apply it, across the country, and let's go beat up the fascists, because their hate speech is provocative. It's provocative. If you are provoking people by using language that is perceived as threatening. Okay. So
I spent a lot of nights in jail.
I think you should be able to, because what did they do?
My wife was impressed by that the last time you said that. She's like, "Oh, that's awesome." She liked that about you, Arturo.
Yeah, I said, they throw you in jail.
It's like I guess like there's like a point. It's like it's okay. We don't want that. It's like, okay, but like maybe sometimes like what language do people speak, right? Like What language do people speak? My point being is like they used to run these fuckers out of town. Okay.
Yeah.
They would literally say, get the fuck out of this
Yeah.
town.
Well,
We
a
don't
big
want
problem.
your ass here. We took the shit out of your
Yes.
house. We threw it in a fucking wagon and we said, bro, you got fucking 2 hours. If you're not gone, we'll make you be gone. Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that shit anymore. You can't
Well,
get people out. I'm not saying that we should be violent, but like they're violent. Okay. So like my question to you is, and this is just a question. I'm not going to suggest anything. Okay. I don't want you guys to hear, but we do need to think about the whole thing. Okay. I'm just because like, look, let's be very realistic here. If you don't consider the full scope of the situation, you're going to lose. Okay. They're considering the full scope. They've considered violence and it's valid and they're using it. Okay. Like, let's be very clear here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the
if
right
you
wing is
enter
a
ring, a dueling ring. Okay. And you decide that the rules are, we're fists. We're doing fists. And then they put on brass knuckles. Okay. And they put on brass knuckles. And you're like, well, I'm playing with my fists. Okay. But like they're wearing fucking brass knuckles, dude. Like that, like I'm gonna be very candid with you. I'm not gonna endorse anything. I'm just describing a situation. I'm giving you an analogy. You step into a ring to have a fisticuffs, they put on brass knuckles. What do? Are you talented enough to, are you strong enough to take brass knuckles to the side of the head and win? Like that's on you. Like, because that's my question. Like, oh, well, like, I'm not saying violence is the answer. I'm saying this is our situation. This is what we're sitting because ICE has used lethal force on people recording them. They have shot people following them with a camera. That is where we're at. I'm not saying anything else. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm saying that this is reality.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm telling you. And it's up to, so what's worse? Punching a guy who's a Nazi in the face and telling him to get the fuck out of your neighborhood, or letting the Nazi walk around and shoot people who are recording them to give to a law system that is allergic to accountability for these people. Yeah. I don't know. That's for me. That's just a thing to consider.
For me, the biggest problem,
fucking grounded here. Let's not. Yeah. We don't. There's ideals and then there's reality. Right. So if we're gonna look at this situation, we can still have our ideals and be grounded in reality. That's all I'm saying.
The big problem is putting Nick Fuentes on a platform. I mean, they're making a choice there. That guy shouldn't get that. And everybody should be furious about it. You should never watch Piers Morgan again if he's willing to give 2 hours of time to a fucking guy like Nick Fuentes. And that's the issue that we have. I don't care if, what percent of Congress or our elected representatives ascribe to those ideologies. They shouldn't be acceptable. I'm glitching again because I'm freaking out. But it's like, this is where the problem is. We allow these people, it's at the expense of people like us. The three of us are never going to be on Piers Morgan. We're able to discuss. It's like, gee, maybe we should do something about the mental health crisis of our young people. And maybe we should be able to buy houses. Instead, they're given time to let some guy like spread hate rhetoric that's just lies and incites violence. And that's acceptable. I mean, and I think what happens is, we wait too long. We don't rouse ourselves until there's a physical altercation, until that guy puts brass knuckles on, or until that guy shoots somebody. We need to start getting pissed off at the rhetoric. We need to, our activism has to come 10 steps earlier so that fucking racists and rapists don't get elected to office and insurrectionists are let off the hook because they act like that's a valid viewpoint too. So like winning the messaging back is important. But now we've got these major conglomerates buying everything up. And they're using AI, articles and everything. And everything's fake. It's all derived by social media. So that's where the problem is. The fight is with where the message is. Who controls what the truth is? Yeah,
the whole idea of having to be polite to bullies just needs to go, right? It just, we need to treat them with the same, motivation, the same, type of anger that they treat us. I always go back to Rage Against the Machine, man. Anger is a gift, right? And the logic behind that is, without anger, you don't have the ability to fight back. And to suggest that we need to maintain respectability politics with, say, racist lawmakers or racist president and an entire cabinet that's full of racists and bigots is just absurd to me.
Correct.
To tell, say, for example, I call Trump a fat tub of shit. And there's inevitably going to be some neoliberal somewhere telling me that I shouldn't be making fun of Trump being fat. You know what? That motherfucker hates me, and I could give two shits about insulting him for being a fat slob that smells like shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I am not going to be respectable to people. Like, like, for example, Greg Abbott, I don't normally comment. I don't comment on him being in a wheelchair, disability, or anything like that. I'm technically disabled myself. So I I have enough I could rag him on, to without having to do that. But like, if I decide to call him Hot Wheels like Jasmine Crockett did, that's seriously not the issue here. Okay. Like, there are much bigger problems that he's causing, and that's why she calls him Hot Wheels. That's why most Texans call him Hot Wheels.
Even other Republicans do. But then they do that just so that they can get somebody else. They make it normal, and then they attack you because it's not right and wrong for them. It's left and right. They can say whatever they want. You say the same thing they do, and they attack you.
Right.
We can't live in a society like that.
They call him Hot Wheels in Texas because they think it's funny. Hot Wheels. But when you call him Hot Wheels, all of a sudden, when Jasmine Crockett did it, right.
Oh,
man,
so
fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to code switch on y'all, but
get riled up. I love it. Get the rage out. Yeah.
I had a comment the other day where I put up what I thought was my most mild Midas Touch criticism. I said, hey, if you watch Midas Touch, I have two questions for you. When's the last time they covered something that wasn't broken by the mainstream media first? And when's the last time you watched a Midas Touch video and it made you ask another question that led you to think about something else? And then after that, I said, I have an ask. Please come and watch a Firebrand report and see, like how it goes. Right? I thought that was really mild. I'm like, I'm not attacking them directly. I'm asking a question, and then I'm inviting them to come and, do my thing, because the goal is, I think, every show I do should leave you walking away with more questions, because my reporting leaves me walking away with more questions. Like, that's how it goes.
Our stuff makes you think. What we do makes you think. Right. I see where you're going.
And someone's like, I'm unsubscribing from you because you're always attacking your competitors and you're no better than Trump. And I was like, I don't really know. Like, I'm not your fucking enemy. Right. I'm not your enemy. And like, you're going to throw away everything I have to say because I am asking you to fucking think.
Yeah.
You didn't even answer my questions.
Plus, isn't going after your competitors the capitalist way anyway? Verizon does it to T-Mobile, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if your competitors, if you don't see a flaw in your competitors, what are you even doing, right? Like, in order for you, if you're running a business, you want to succeed, you got to look at the market, see who your competitors are, and then do better than they're doing, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're doing better than mainstream media is doing. Midas Touch is just echoing mainstream media. Aaron Parnas echoing mainstream media. We're making you think.
And I get those comments from people too. They're like, Walter, if you're too hard on them, you drive them away. You got. And I'm just like, okay, I disagree with you. And they're just like, but if you're too hard, you drive them away. And it's like, yeah, but I'm disagreeing with you, I'm saying. So you should be showing the empathy you think I should show. But it's never for them, right? It's never, They never have to come around and be nice to me and use empathy to try to get me to see their point of view. It's always, I'm going to fucking unsubscribe from you now and block you now. It's just like, well, I guess it's not a very good strategy if you can't even model it for me. You just like, you want me to act that way, but you don't want to model that strategy somehow. And then they won't. Then usually by then the conversation's over. Because
someone in the comments said Shane caught a snowflake. Happy holidays. I almost died. I was like, oh my God, that's so perfect.
That's a good one.
You know, I was just like, I'm no better than Trump. I think my response, I said something like, you know, if you don't like what I have to say, that's totally okay. Like, you don't have to. If you don't want to like be subscribed to me because of that, like, that's okay. But like comparing me to Trump, I think that's a little extreme. Like, I'm not a pedophile. I am, I care about the working class.
Wow. Yeah.
And
you're not trying to start a war with Venezuela?
And I'm not trying to start a fucking war with Venezuela. You know, like, I'm like, honestly, like, that's crazy. Like, you know, these people, these Midas people, dude, they sound to me like MAGA. They sound to me like MAGA.
The establishment Democrats do too. The way they're just on us, where they're like, you know, they always attack you, and like, why didn't people vote for us? It's like, why didn't you give them something to vote for? You know, but if you're not 100% with them, they instantly flush you down the toilet, and they wonder why they can't build their big tent coalition.
I just am like, I'm sorry. Like, if that upsets you, if you're here and you watch Midas, that's fine. But like, let's be very clear. I asked 2 very good questions that you should make you think critically. And when that question contradicted with this particular individual's perceived reality, when they realized that it was a negative, the question, the answer they got was negative, they immediately entered cognitive dissonance, shut down, and made an ad hominem attack. Okay? Right? That is exactly what happened. What does MAGA do? What is the MAGA thing. It's the same fucking thing.
It's blue MAGA versus red MAGA at this point.
Let's remove the filters. Let's remove the rosy, you know, reality of, you know, just because you like what's coming out of that mouth, just because that mouth was saying things that were right first, doesn't mean that like you can't, like, you know, I love this new term and I embrace it fully. There's independent media, but then there's new media. And we need to move people away from independent media, because the independent media is getting really rich now. They're getting really rich.
And they're falling into the same patterns. They're bringing on the same jerks and giving credibility to the other side. And I've been fighting with people on this, because the thing that the establishment Democrats say that really makes me irritated is like, well, we can't do this purity test thing. It's like, well, don't run a candidate with 30 credible accusations of credible, sexual misconduct. I had this guy though, and he was just like, ideological purity, he says. And I said, well, you got to be anti-racist. He said, actively. Do you have to be actively anti-racist? I'm like, what the hell are you trying to say? They're going to claim to be anti-racist and then not do a damn thing about racism when they get into office? I got to read
this to you guys, actually. Go ahead. While you're doing that, because one of my firebrands, they got sent a promotional email from Midas Touch. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm going to read it, because it's just like, are you fucking serious? Like, no way.
The money corrupts. That's what somebody says. And it's just
this email, because
it makes it tough. I mean, we got to have these grassroots movements, because you do need money to get the message out. But I don't have an easy answer. I think we can get there. It's just a matter of we first have to dismantle the structure corruption. That's our job right now.
I just need money to pay my bills.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, it's like, don't give your money to millionaires, please. Don't give it to the millionaires. They don't need it.
I can get my message out. Like, I'm being suppressed on X right after my beef with Laura.
Oh, everywhere.
But like, I'm still pulling in like over 1 million views on threads on my
I gotta send you an article just to fucking post on there, bro. I just be like, you're over here busting. I can't, dude. I don't know. I can't do all this That's where I get stressed out, dude. It's like, I can't do that many platforms, dude. I can't do it. Like, my brain would explode.
I copy paste.
How do you do it, man?
Copy paste.
While you're watching TV at night, just be pasting things onto the platform.
Dude, I'll post something on one of them, and I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Let me copy, paste that on Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook. I just
those clips they make of these talks are really useful. You can put those all over the place.
I do those too. The clips from these talks really do well, and I auto upload all my stuff to, like, with this one. The reason I republish on my side is because I auto upload everything to YouTube, and then on my account, and then I created a page on Antagonist Mag where it's called as Seen On. And I start listing all these talks and all that stuff to try to get us more traffic,
Nice.
And a lot of that stuff auto posts, from WordPress, it'll auto post to my social media. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's expensive.
I'll have to figure that out.
WordPress
So here's this
is pricey,
email
but
forwarded to me by a firebrand.
Let's do it.
And so this was sent out yesterday. So it says from Substack, from Ben Mycelis. Hi, friend. This is Ben Mycelis, the co-founder of Midas Touch. I'm sending this to the top Midas Touch supporters before the holidays. I'm sending this on the honor system, so please keep this between us and don't share. I understand that Trump has harmed the economy and made it difficult to afford a subscription to this Substack. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to become a subscriber to this channel. So I want to give you a discount on the normal subscription price. Right now, I want you to just put a number in your head what you think that subscription discount is. Don't tell me. I don't want to know, but just put a number in your head. All right. Our data shows you regularly read this Substack and you are a big supporter of Midas. If the reason you haven't subscribed is because you've been waiting for a discount opportunity, let me offer how much percent? What percent do you think?
10.
10?
I'll go 90. I'll do the other side.
90? Let me offer 30% off right now.
Arturo wins. Arturo always wins.
If you subscribe today, you don't need to show proof or anything. We will go by the honor code. So just take 30% off now by subscribing below. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for all you do for Midas Touch. We appreciate you.
So the biggest supporters are free subscribers in his email.
This sounds like some fucking Trump shit, dude.
It does. It does.
This sounds like some Trump shit.
It's the same type of message you get from Democrats about donate money. Donate money.
Mycelis is worth over $10 million.
Yeah. They build a giant network that could serve as a huge communication tool, and all they care about is money. That's it.
It's a great opportunity to say, hey, we're working hard to get you universal health care. We're working hard to get you universal health. And just because we have so much messaging we have to combat. I mean, it's in my mind too. This is the thing. And every day I do this just to kind of uncover more ways I've been programmed to obstruct myself. That's the whole point here. It's like the United States brainwashes us into hurting ourselves. Any communication mechanism has to combat that.
30% off what?
They're They're $10.
Okay. Per month?
$10 a month? Jesus, man. I took 30%.
It's 30% off for a year only. So let's see. I'm gonna take it. How much is their annual? If I want to subscribe to this,
it's probably
an annual is a fucking $100.
Of course.
So $70. It's not even the monthly, it's the annual. Okay, so they want $70 fucking dollars.
So if anybody who's watching this,
that's more than my annual subscription.
Right. I was gonna say, so anybody watching this right now could probably subscribe to all three of us for less than that. Because right now I'm running a sale 30% off. It's $35 a year forever.
Yeah.
And that's my holiday sale. I know Walter does a pay what you can. Pay what you can. And between Walter and I and Shane, you'll be paying less for three of us than you would be for Midas, probably even after a discount. I mean, it's crazy.
Let's do this. Check this out. I'm gonna reread this email, but I'm gonna change some words. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hi, friend. This is Donald Trump.
Oh boy.
President of the United States. I'm sending you this. I'm sending this to my top MAGA supporters before the holidays. I'm sending this on the Patriot system. So keep this between us and don't share. I understand that the Dems have harmed the economy and made it difficult to afford supporting MAGA these days. I want to make sure it's easy as possible for you to help fund the president of America and get rid of these dirty Dems, the waste, fraud, and corruption.
Okay.
Our data shows that you are a strong supporter of the MAGA movement. And if the reason you haven't donated recently is because you've been waiting for a discount opportunity, let me offer my strongest supporters 30% off right
Jesus.
now if you donate today.
Yeah.
You don't need to show proof or anything. We will go by the honor code. So just take 30% off now by sending your donation below. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I mean, dude, it
just
sounds
do that in
like
your head.
It sounds like a Trump email.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
If I read it the first way,
Yeah.
if I read it that way first, would you have even fucking blinked an eye?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I would have
I
blinked at
changed
30%.
15 words.
It would have been
That's it.
It would have been 8.8% if it had been from that guy.
No, what the fuck?
Tell me I'm fucking
A
crazy.
few more dog
Why are
whistles
you
in there,
attacking
yeah.
us, dog? Like, why? That shit is coming out of the foremost liberal media outlet.
Oh God!
Holy shit!
Sorry to
Run by
take you by
Republicans.
surprise with that one, Arturo. That one was a hard one, but that's what they do. That's what they do.
That is.
I feel like I gotta pull my shit back, low key, because like I'm getting fucking. It's getting harder and harder for me to get traction. The more I criticize these fucking people, the more these people fucking push back on me.
They're gonna shut us down. And there was this conservative website that aggregated my content, but they finally blocked me off there. I actually kind of wanted them to block me because it was drawing a lot of these hostile subscribers, which is bad. But it's just we're the fringe. I told somebody we're the canaries in the coal mine.
Yeah,
we'll go away. We'll start dropping off. Either we win or some of us are going to start dropping off. So
I think
keep your eye out for that.
I think we're honestly building a very reciprocal community where we are constantly pushing each other's stuff. And I think no matter how much they try to suppress us, like even with Elon Musk and stuff on Twitter suppressing our accounts and stuff, I don't, there are other platforms where we're getting major traction. And I think as long as we keep pushing each other, we shouldn't have to worry about them suppressing us as long as we have each other's support. I mean, right now, what we're pushing, close to 200 people watching this. I heard someone say, don't bemoan only having, say, 30 or 40 followers. That's an entire classroom.
Yeah.
We have 5 classrooms in here right now, if not more. So, we're growing, we're pushing, our message is getting out there, and we may not be one big organization like Midas Touch, but we don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? We'll
never send you Trump mail.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
That shit is like, dude, that's like the low of the low. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ. I read that and I was like, and this person
it's funny.
Doesn't even subscribe to them at all.
Right? I wonder how Ben Meiselas saw when I was 2 positions ahead of him a couple days ago in news. Wow. And I wonder if he looked at my account with a 30% off deal or another account like mine with a 30% off deal for the holidays.
You were the one. It's all on you.
Maybe. I mean, maybe he's copying what we're doing because he sees us getting up.
Why do you need money? Fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
Fuck
why?
That. Anyway, I'm sorry, Walter.
Get out of the way.
I was going to say, watch out. Because last week,
$10 million.
Be aware, though, everybody, since we got people here. Last week, somebody cloned my account. I've seen that happen a little bit. They took my profile name and just added a 2 at the end. And they took my picture and they were reposting notes. And so I was like, God damn it. So I was really quick and I saw it right away. And I sent out a message to all my subscribers because I don't want somebody who clones my account and then asks for money or starts sending weird messages or tells you to go off platform. That's the kind of stuff you have to watch out for, and that just means you're targeted more. They want you quiet because they're doing
something. Somebody did that to me on X a couple years ago. I was fundraising for the Antagonist mag, and they set up a bogus account, looked like mine, stole my profile picture, my bio, everything. And I had a couple of readers, DM me, and they're like, "Hey, I just sent you, this much. Let me know when you get it." And I'm like, I didn't get it. And then I asked what account, and that's how I discovered it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I was able to get all the money taken away from them, but they're doing it. They do it.
Yeah.
It's sad, but they do.
Well, people got to be aware of it. The more we can spread the awareness of that, just be careful. Take care.
For sure.
And I'll respond. And it's like, they can't quite get us with like an AI video yet. AI video is not quite good enough. where they
I
can
don't know, man.
they can't do these glitches. They all glitch out. Those AI videos, they glitch. They look like you're broadcasting from a Star Wars movie, like
so,
this.
Like, I had some dudes, right-wing dudes kept calling me fat, right, on Threads. And I'm like, bro, 6 foot, 190 pounds is hardly fat. Dude created an AI video using my profile picture of me being all fat with these huge tits and all this stuff. And I laughed so hard, dude. I was like, dude, that is awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I could never visualize myself like that.
Me either.
You know what I almost did? I almost invited the cloned version of me to a Substack Live. I was this close. I was like, hey, how you doing? Here's the other one. But then I'm like, they're not gonna pick up. A
fake Pogue tried to slide into my mom's DMs.
Whoa.
Like straight up. She's like, Pogue sent me this message. I'm like, yeah, Pogue wouldn't try to slide into your DMs.
What was the message?
Like, he's like, what, do you have a signal? I'm like, dude, Fred's not going to try and get your signal, mom. Like, and it's like Fred Pogue 1. And I'm like, no, it's not real. Like, he's not. And I'm like, I'm glad you called me because, like, it's weird, fucking weird. But they do that shit, It's like, but they can't emulate crazy. Like, no AI can like be
rage.
Well, the AI is not going to be like. Like it's too much for the AI.
Right.
Oh shit. No, yeah, guys, I don't know. I mean, it's like it's one thing though, it fucking pisses me off before we wrap up here. It's like, dude, the whole fucking thing where they're about to blow the ACA in Congress.
Yeah, people are gonna
and
die.
After they opened up the government, they literally said that we're the Democrats. We have one request. You're going to take care of American healthcare. It's the whole reason we shut the government down for 45 days.
Yeah.
45 days. How dare they? But we're going to open it up. And now what happened? And now you're going to drop the ball on that.
What always happens.
And they're all going to go off healthcare.
Democrats are suckers, man. Democrats and Chuck Schumer, I should say. All the big name Democrats are suckers. There's a lot of good ones out there. I'm not going to say that about every Democrat, but I have a hard time seeing Delia Ramirez falling for that, or anybody.
They got to start rebelling.
As Senate Majority Leader, fuck no, that would never fly.
Stupid. I mean, Republicans always renege, dude. Always.
Yeah,
renege.
It's like the Charlie Brown and Lucy thing.
Yes,
gonna pull the football away.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe this time they'll actually negotiate in good faith. They know they never have because they're fucking evil. They want people to die. Forget about we go back to COVID. I mean, for fuck's sake. All the people the bodies they were loading up to the trucks, like refrigerated trucks because they didn't have enough more. This is Republican leadership. It's like just colossal death. And it's going to happen even worse this time because they bought up so much of the media. Nobody reports it, but people are just going to die. And it's just tragic.
It's like they're afraid of Luigi now. What do they think is going to happen when all of these people go off their meds? They're fucking crazy. They're fucking crazy if they're going to take away all these people's medications. They're worried about one dead CEO. They should be fucking real worried if you think, because they're not gonna. People are poor enough. They're not gonna fucking. They're not blaming each other anymore, dude.
No.
They're blaming. We are all looking at the CEOs. You're gonna take a bunch of people who need medication to regulate their brain chemistry.
Yeah.
You're going to take away their access to that medication and you expect them not to come and fucking kill you.
Well, watching your loved ones die in agony. I mean, it's just like, for fuck's sake, man. They think they're insulated.
You read Luigi's story. I would pardon him. I wouldn't.
Well, they fucked up the case so much. He's probably, they're so incompetent. He's probably gonna, haven't they been saying, I've been hearing some whispers of that. This government can't do anything right, and it's like you leak so much information, you can't have a fair trial anymore. I guess it depends on how corrupt the judges he happens to get.
I think that people would have to bust him out of prison if they gave him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just walked because they're so fucking incompetent.
I wouldn't be surprised if he walked too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of walking, I mean, Kilmar Obrego, the last I heard was he got fucking
that's
released,
great
so
news.
that's
Great news.
That poor fucking guy. He's been just fucked with by the U.S. government for a whole, and he should be on Piers Morgan. You want to talk to somebody, Piers Morgan? Bring on Kilmar Obrego. He deserves to have his story told.
They won't platform him at all. There's no
nobody
way.
does. See, that's I'd talk to him. Come on and talk to us. I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah, dude, I'm for real. Like, the Trump, absolutely. It's
the Trump administration's focus on Kilmar Obrego Garcia and trying to make him the poster boy is going to be their downfall. It's going to be their downfall because it's exposing so much from the arrest all the way to his detention, and they're doing that same thing to hundreds of thousands of people, and trying to make them look like criminals. And like I just published an article because when ICE was doing these massive raids here in Houston, they took in like 3,500 people during the shutdown. They claimed they were all the worst of the worst. Turned out only 100 or 200 were actual criminals. And while I'm in the middle of analyzing that data, they released a database where you can go on the DHS website and see which criminals were arrested in your community. And out of the over 200,000 people that they've arrested, fewer than 10,000 are actual criminals, which shows their rate of people with criminal records at lower than 5%. We've been thinking 10%. DHS's own data says fewer than 5% are actual criminals.
Yeah.
And like they're syncing themselves with their own data.
Look at the criminal activity by white supremacists in the United States, and all of a sudden your numbers it's like, you want to get rid of the criminals, go after nobody ever even talks about the white supremacy. And there's plenty of organizations. It's not Antifa. They've got a headquarters. They got a lot of guys they own. They got a lot of money. They're well funded. They're all over the place.
Yeah, no, the white supremacist headquarters is the White House.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where their headquarters are. I know who their leaders are. I know where all their little factions are. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, tell me where Antifa is, because we can tell you where all the other bad guys are.
Oh man,
I keep thinking about this. It's like record cold, right? Like a record cold winter. Chicago, the storms and shit are crazy. I keep thinking like, dude, what's the conditions like in these detention centers?
Oh God.
Like, are people like okay? Like they're packed into these concrete cells. Like I'm like genuinely worried about like the conditions during the winter. Like what is going to happen to these people?
They already intentionally keep them cold. Yeah. Migrants call them the freezer, in Spanish, because they keep them extremely cold, and all they give them is the stupid Mylar little blanket. Yeah. So come wintertime, they probably won't even turn the fucking heat on.
Like people are going to die, dude. Like I'm serious. And it's like, oh, we have 20 recorded deaths, dude. No, it's in the hundreds, probably the thousands. Okay. Like, like it's not, it's just like people didn't know the scale of the Holocaust until they got to the camps.
Yep.
They didn't know, like, we don't know. Okay. We do know that like they're finding people like hung in Florida, like they're killing people in there like every day.
Yeah, the one guy they found him hanged and he had his hands and feet tied behind his back. And how do you do that? Right? Like, I mean, come on. Yeah, obviously there's some crazy shit happening.
I put that shit in my Christmas letter too, because it just feels so hypocritical right now. This is supposed to be the time of peace and people are sitting around. I was trying to write my letter like, this is what my family, it's like, this is fucking hypocritical. My family's targeted for death right now by the powers of the United States. And it's like, I'm asking you guys for help. It's like, what's the fucking point of having relationships with people if I can't ask you for help? I'm living in terror every day. We know these atrocities are going around. And you can either sip your eggnog in mansions, and like think you're a good person for helping out for 5 minutes at a turkey feed, or you can start standing up to the fucking atrocities going on in the country today.
It like sucks because so I see them I see them trying to take like Walter's kids, right? What do? I step in front of them. I get in front of him. What do I get? I get probably the shit beaten out of me. I get tased. I get kicked. Probably a couple ribs broken, and then they probably take them anyway. Because like the law says I can't fucking touch these dudes. Like, I'll fucking try, of course, like anyone should try, but like, it's like, guys, that's what I'm saying. It's the brass knuckles and the fist fight.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. And like, that's where, when is enough enough?
But if everybody knew, because we're still in that mindset where people just walk by and they disregard. But if they come to take my kids and it's just me and the kids, that's one kind of fight. But if they come and my whole neighborhood stands beside me and says, this ain't happening, they're walking away. And that's what we need to build, everybody. And that's why we need to have these hard talks at the holidays. And we need to just bring it up. It's uncomfortable, but it's got to be said. Go read Virginia Giuffre's book. You have to read that shit. You have to know what's going on. We are dealing with monsters, and they have all the power in the world. And the only power that we have is that there's a lot more of us. It's hard. Let's not sugarcoat it, but we got to speak out.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, because I mean, now they're talking about, Supreme Court's going to look at the whole birthright citizenship thing. Dude, that could take my citizenship. I was born to immigrant parents. You know what I mean? Like, they could say your shit ain't valid, but I don't think they're going to go back that far. I don't think that's the intent. But that's a precedent for that. Maybe later they'll try to take it from us.
They're stalling. I think the Supreme Court is stalling. They don't want it. They think he'll be dead by then, and then everything will change. But
it's not going to change, dude. When Trump dies, it gets worse. Like, I hate to tell everybody, Trump dies, it gets worse. Okay. Yep. Trump makes all of this disorganized and like fucked up, and it's like hard to deal with him. Once he's gone, it becomes a smoothly oiled operation, and they're just all gonna,
possibly.
But I have to say, there's one caveat, and we like have to seize it right away. Because there will be a power struggle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Within, there will be a period of time where there is disunity, but whoever ends up on top, once that happens, then it becomes a very smooth, cleaned up operation. Yeah. We have a very limited amount of time when he dies.
Yeah, we have to exploit that power vacuum.
Yeah.
And pit them against each other.
And we got the midterms coming, people. Everybody, boy, we can change the whole government in the midterms.
As long as they don't steal that shit, dude. Look at Tennessee. Nobody, again, like, dude, where is the fucking reporting? Midas Touch is sending a 30% grift that sounds like Trump mail.
Yeah.
But they're allergic to reporting on fucking manipulation.
And they're bullshit about, it's a win, even though we lost. It's like, fuck you, man. Get out there and make it. It's like, don't tell us we should be celebrating when you're not doing jack squat again. Go defend our vote. You bitch at us when we don't vote, and then when we vote and we have that vote taken away, you don't do anything. That pisses me off.
Then you want $20 my ass, dude. They're pro-dollar bills. Like, that's what, and that's like, read that email, and then tell me
that email's bad, bro.
If they were selling a fucking Trump ornament at the end of that shit,
right?
What you think that's fucking lazy, dude? Like, they're just riding on their laurels. Like, they built this fucking car or whatever, and they're just riding in it, and people are like, that's
white supremacy.
Mobile.
That's white supremacy in a nutshell.
Like, dude, nah, it's just they're a Democrat. They're interviewing Hakeem Jeffries and all these people, bringing the establishment on there. I don't know. It's like,
out of curiosity, they got any Latinos or Black people that work there?
I don't know. No, not that I know.
So
maybe they got Katie Fang or that's
interesting. Interesting. The two, arguably the two biggest and some of the most vocal groups in this country, Latinos and Black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really need those voices. That's why, come on. We have to talk to the most marginalized among us, right? Women, Black folks, Indigenous people. Latinos,
where are the interviews of the women who were bleeding out in hospitals or the families because of restrictive abortion laws? We need to have those stories every day. Those stories need to be in the media every fucking day to see just the atrocities being committed by this regime and every fucking thing about the right wing. They cause pain on so many levels. There's so many people we can interview that have lost loved ones, that have lost friends, that have lost sisters and mothers and kids. We deserve to see their pain so that people are educated and they fucking stop voting for asshole bullies who are cruel. Like cruelty is the founding model of this whole country. It needs to be changed.
Yeah, I don't know that another white-owned, white-centered media outlet is what this country needs. We have plenty of those already.
Yeah.
You know, so
like Ben Meiselas, former pharma lawyer. Okay, like ooh, yeah. And then what? Michael Popak. What is he? One of those fucking accident attorneys. You know, the guy who's like, oh, you've gotten in a car crash. Is that guy? Okay. You know,
call them ambulance chasers.
Jordy Meiselas was a fucking advertiser for HBO, and like
they're positioning themselves for the power vacuum rather than really trying to change anything.
What they were doing.
We got to be mindful of that. Everybody
fucking knew exactly what they were doing. They were perfectly set. They're fucking scammers. Popak, that entire job. Introduce me one injury lawyer who's that. Like that's Better Call Saul, dude. Like you know the law. Now you know the law, dude. I would never like. That's not the lawyer I'm gonna go and find if I need legal advice. You know, I'm gonna go find a fucking prosecutor.
The criminal defense attorney,
and Ben Meiselas, he won against like I don't know, like it's like a $70 million suit or something that he won, maybe against Pfizer. I don't know. But like, dude, I've seen his office. Look at his office, dude. That chair must be worth like $2,000. I mean, that's a nice fucking chair. Like,
I could use a chair like that.
Yeah, I wish my chair was like that. Like my back fucking hurts, and I'm 25 from fucking sitting in this chair all day. I wish I could afford that chair. A real wooden desk. Damn, real wood. I don't know.
Hey man, whoever outfitted his office can outfit mine, and I'll sponsor their shit for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just we're all stuck in this narrative cage. We got to break down the walls of this narrative cage, and there's groups that are not doing it, and it's really they keep trying to marginalize us. But it's just like when it's like the hysterical when they make that false claim. She's a hysterical woman. It's like you damn well know that guy. Did horrible things to her, but he tries to margin. So they try to do that to us. We're the crazy ones. We're on the fringe. But it's like things aren't going to be better until we break that narrative cage we're in. And they're keeping it upright.
I won't say a word. I'll leave Ben Meiselas alone forever if he releases his trades. If he releases his stock market trades.
Oh boy.
If he releases his stock market portfolio and what he's been trading on, I'll let it go. I won't say shit.
I'm willing to bet he has a lot of war stock.
Yeah. I bet you it's a lot of private prison stock.
Yep.
I bet you it's a lot of stuff. It's that's what I think. Release your trades, bro.
He can include that in his next fundraising email. It's like here's my portfolio. Please send me $30.
Yeah. Hey, I need to put more money into gold. Here's a 30% off discount. Hey, look, guys. So I'm not yelling. I'm not fucking attacking left media. I'm attacking a millionaire. Who's asking for money, right? Like, dude, like let's fucking reorient where the
he's got a little cardboard sign. He's sitting out by the the grocery store with his millions, asking people for even more money. It's like, come on, man,
dude.
Like these begging millionaires. It's like, do you know shame? Look around. Look at how much people are suffering. We got to give money to fucking millionaires. God damn it. And billionaires want money too? Fuck.
If he wants to lawyer me, dude, Ben Meiselas, I'm talking shit all the time. Invite me. Come on, Midas Touch. You can lawyer the shit out of me, dog. I'll sit there and I'll take it. And then we can do it. We can do it. I'll leave you alone. Let's talk. You're welcome on the show. You come on the show. Firebrands United.
Constructive criticism. It's constructive. We're just all working together for a better world.
I'll leave it alone. I'll leave you alone, dude. Like, I know. I firmly believe he knows my name.
I'm sure.
I think he's heard of me. I think he's like, dude, that kid's fucking annoying. Like, God, he's constantly like tagging me and like, calling me out. Like, I fucking hate that guy. I don't think left.
Hey, we can agree to disagree, right? We can agree and we can disagree and still be friends, right? And he shouldn't be too hard on us, because if you push people too hard, you just drive them away from you. And he should treat us with empathy. So see how that sounds like such bullshit, but we might as well use their words against them, I guess.
I mean, it works.
We gotta have a Big Tent coalition, right? So our viewpoint, your viewpoint, they all come together, and then we can form.
Okay, guys, I got another live here in like 3 minutes. We're just having too much fun. But,
thanks for the rant. All you good people.
Thank you guys for joining us. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe to Arturo. Make sure you subscribe to Walter, myself. Cancel your Midas Touch subscription. Come subscribe to us.
All the contents were satire in nature, and we're not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah, we'll send you a Midas Touch ornament for free with your subscription. So it's way better. We actually we'll send you a postcard, all three of us together in front of the family tree.
Maybe a calendar.
Hyperbole.
Maybe
actually have a postcard, just to be clear.
Maybe a naked calendar. We could make that.
But it would be cool. Maybe we make a yearly rant postcard next year. That would be cool. So guys, thank you for joining us today for the rant. It's truly a pleasure to be here with these two guys. And we will see you guys all next week. I'm going to see Arturo earlier next week. We're doing another Latin American breakdown on Tuesday. So make sure you catch that. A lot of shit going on. And maybe we can have Elizabeth join us if she's partial. Awesome. And she's available. I would love to have Elizabeth join us. I think that'd be really rad to kind of get that out there. But everybody, I'm going to do my paid subscriber live stream here in 5 minutes. So if you're a paid subscriber, come join me. It's not at all anything like the other stuff we do. We just hang out and watch some funny videos or whatever. So now's a good time to become a paid subscriber if you want to come to that too. But we'll be here and we won't send you guys any scam mail, just content. So, go ahead and subscribe to these guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
And
you lovely
I will talk to you guys all later.
Have a great weekend.
Happy Friday, everybody.